Creatives, how are you? Welcome back to the Nerd Creative channel, Build the Moomin House, Box 10, Part 7. In this video, we'll be completing issue 36 of the build. Grab yourself a coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So, here's the magazine, here's the components. Another great graphic on the front there. So, in this issue, we'll be here is the ceiling for the first floor. You know, the walls that we just put in the first floor. This is the ceiling, half of the ceiling that goes. We'll also be finishing the bathroom cabinet. We've completed this section. We'll be completing this section in this issue. The Invisible Child, Nini. Memoirs of Moomin Papa on the High Seas. So here we are. These are the components that come with this section of the build and the step-by-step instructions to completing the bathroom cabinet. As you can see, quite a lot to do. And then a nice graphic on the back there. So what we'll do is we'll put the magazine aside and we'll look at the components. So these are the only components for this section. But like I said, there is a lot to do to build the cabinet. This is where we are with the cabinet from the last video, and we will be building on that, including putting up a wash on there. So that's the ceiling to the first floor. That will go upside down and it will sit above the first floor. And these are the remaining elements, components to the cabinet. So here they are. So we put this piece aside because we're not going to be doing anything to it until probably box 11. So I'll just put that aside and we'll start our prep work. And as before, we need to separate the components from their housing. So I've got the craft knife. We'll start to separate these pieces. And these two last pieces here. There, we've got all our pieces separated now. And as before, see the edges are slightly darker than the main fronts of them. As you can see, darker on that side there than on that side. So what we need to do is we need to sand all these pieces, and as always, we'll do that in time lapse. this section back as part of the colour wash. So we've got the brown, we've got our shot glass. Just going to put some paint in here, scoop some paint in there, and then add some water. Start mixing that. Just remember, we're not painting it brown, we're just adding a colour wash. Okay, let's just see. Yeah, that should do. Okay, so we need to start giving all these a wash. We'll be doing a wash on both sides, of course. So let's start here. Just moving the brush very quickly over the surface, so it doesn't stain or pool in any areas. I've got plenty of wash, and I can always make up more if I need to. It just soaks up into the wood grains, as you can see there. Just work through all the sections. Everywhere on the surface. And we will be leaving it to dry and doing the other side as well. There we go. Well, these pieces like the rolling away. See, just picking up that wood grain, just a tiny bit there, just to finish that off. Just an even coat across the surface, moving the brush very quickly so it doesn't sit in one place and start staining it darker than the rest of it. There we go. A section here. And you can see the contrast between what I've painted and what I haven't painted yet. It's quite a contrast. Even these really small pieces here need doing. And then these, they're like dowlings. I'm going to sit them in here, for want of a better place to put them while I paint them. They're almost like little tiny chess pieces. So let's just give them a wash on all their sides. Paint splashing around as we get all sides painted, and then we get the tops painted as well, and the little necks there, making sure we get an even coat all the way around. And same with the other one. We'll hold it from this end and we'll paint everywhere on these little ornate pieces. Spin it around, just get them painted. Sit it in there and then get the neck of it done. Spin it around. It's so small, it's very difficult to paint, and you see it at the same time because it's so tiny. Just getting this neck end painted, just make sure it's all painted at the top of the head. It's good because it soaks in, so we'll sit that there and that one in there. It soaks in pretty much straight away, so that's the sit in there. Okay, now we've got this big piece here that we need to paint. Get the old colour wash on. See, the wood grains are showing through. It looks really good. And I have zoomed the camera in when I do these pieces because I did one video and the camera was zoomed right out, and I was working on very, very small pieces, and although I'm closer to the table than the camera is, it was very difficult to see what I was doing. So we've got this section to do from the last video. We've got to give it a colour wash as well, so it all looks the same colour. Making sure no paint is pooled on in any area. Just keep working the brush very quickly as possible. Stop the paint from pooling in any area. Just making sure that I am in camera with every brush stroke. Painting every surface because I don't know what's going to be seen and not seen at this juncture, because it's half assembled. So I'm just going to paint every surface. This side here. Just keep moving the paint around. Don't let it settle anywhere. That's where you get the darker streaks, which I've actually found to my detriment that does happen, and it's not good, because once it's pulled up and you've got a dark streak, you can't get rid of it. Just go into there. Let's make sure it doesn't pool up anywhere. Get inside here. Just keep moving the brush. Keep moving and moving the brush as we go. Moving it around every surface will cover. From there. Let's get every surface covered. A lot of areas to cover. There's little patchy areas where there's dry glue, like a thin layer of dry glue just down, see on that section there. There's nothing we can do about that, but I think it just adds to its kind of rustic look. That it's not going to be perfect, and I don't want it to be perfect because it's part of the Moomin house. It's the furniture in the house hasn't come from IKEA or anywhere like that, so you know it's not going to look perfect, and that's the beauty of it. So you don't have to have a full gloss finish. Let's get these back pylons painted, excuse me, washed in. Just make sure we get every single wall. See there, that bit there, that's where there's glue. It's like a thin, it's so thin piece of glue, streak of glue, that I can't see it with the naked eye, but the pen has picked it up. Excuse me. Grab your coffees, guys, before I choke to death. Let's check that we've got every section done. Now, I think I've got every section done there, so we've got other sides to do as well. Like I say, I don't know which sides will be out on display. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix some more paint up. I'm going to get some more of this brown paint. Big clump of it there. I'm going to add some water to it. Give it a mix. Now it's as watery as possible. You see there, that's the wash. So I'm going to sit that aside. Give the old brush a rinse. So I do like this wood. See the wood that's standing out, the wood grain standing out, and they'll all be completely unique. But I think it's amazing with wood this tiny that it still has wood streaks, wood grains showing through. That's really good. I'm going to go and get a glass of water. I'm joking here, so I'll come back when these are dry and I'll do the other sides. Just turned all the sections over now on the side that needs to be colour washed. So we'll bring the paint back. I'm going to start with this big one. Let's keep the brush moving. Until it soaks in. Just work your way through the pieces. So this one's a cupboard door. Some detailing on it. The memory was full on the other foam, so back to using this foam. I've just started to paint the edges. Some of these items. Yes, I'll do the edge on this one, just so that we've got none of the light wood showing through. Just a light wash over the edges that have been sanded. I was able to zoom in on this camera as well, so you can actually see exactly what I'm doing. Well, I do have a giant hand, but it's so that you can see exactly what I'm doing close up. Like I say, I don't know what's going to be visible and not visible while it's not assembled, so I am going to cover every side that I can see. And again, just working the brush very quickly. I think this is the last section that needs doing. See there, picking up the wood grain. That's all the sections that have been colour washed. I'm going to leave that to dry for now, and then I'll come back in this video and we'll assemble. These are all dry now. I've zoomed out a little bit because I'm going to construct the bathroom cabinet. So I'm going to put some glue onto a cocktail stick. There we go. And I'm going to add some glue to this side here. And the other side. Just add some more glue. There we go. That might be a bit too much glue, but we'll spread it around. So we just get it on the edges. And we also want to put it, because it's going on the back here, we also want to put it at the bottom as well. spread it around. So it's going to sit in there. So we may possibly put glue maybe on there. I'll put some glue there, I won't put a lot. Some there. Right there. And then we'll get this back piece. So you see that little design there, I don't know if you can see it. That faces forward. And this is the back. So we just lay this in place and it goes above this shelf here and in between. So it sits in there. Let's just wipe off the excess glue. And that forms our structure for the top part. There, the top part of the bathroom cabinet. Just get clean some glue from these areas here. And the excess glue that's showing up. There you go. Right, so the next thing we need to do is we need to have this shelf here with the two holes in it, and that slots here. So we need to put more glue on. Trusty wood glue. Thin it a little bit. So we need to put some glue here, here. Let's get some more glue on that. And here. And then where it touches, which is here, add some glue there. So this shelf is the lower shelf and that sits in there. As you can see there, it's starting to take shape. Let's just clean off any excess glue in the joins. There, that's it. So the next thing we need to do is get these pieces in. So we need to add a little glue to those. Get enough glue on there, that's not too much. And add glue to the bottom of these pieces. Slot them in the holes. Not sure that wants to go in that hole there, but that's where it needs to go. And put some glue on the bottom of this one. Slot that one in there, in that hole. Clean off any excess glue that's showing up. There. Starting to take shape. So the next thing we need to place is the top shelf, which is this one here with the hole in the middle. And the top shelf sits on top of here and it slots in there. So what we need to do is we need to glue the tops of these chest piece shape is here. This one, add some glue to there, and add some glue to there. This is really wobbling around. I'm hoping it will stabilise once I get this top shelf on, because it really doesn't want to sit there. And we need to put some glue here as it slides into place. Hoping it doesn't knock these pieces out when I do slide it into place. So let's just add some glue to that section, and I need to slide this into place. Now this is not going to be easy. Slide it into place, and then it sits on top of these chest shaped pieces there and on there. Just make sure that they're sitting in place. Oh, see what I've done there. Let me just take that off. Take these off. And just remove this piece. Apparently it needs to go down there. Yeah. Right there. See if we can just pop it into place. It doesn't seem to want to go that way though. Let me just double check that. Yeah, it's supposed to go down to this level here, but it won't go down there without not sticking out. That's very strange, because we shouldn't have these gaps at the top here. Checking. Okay, no, I had it right now. I had it right. Let's get these back in place. I had it right, so let's just glue them back in place. Okay, let's put these back. Yeah, sometimes you have to double check if you're doing it right sometimes, because it is kind of fiddly and because it's very small, it's sometimes difficult to see if you're doing it right, because it is very small, but I was doing it right, so I'll just carry on with that. Get this shelf back in place. Add more glue. So I was actually doing it right, so I did second guess myself there, because it did look like there wasn't a gap, but there was a gap. So yeah, let's just put the glue on there, and then the glue on the top of these two chest type pieces. I think they're called dowling. I think they're called. Yeah, I think they're called dowling. Just put the glue back on top of there. Back on top of there. Right. Put this shelf back where it was, which is there. And then make sure these pieces it doesn't seem to sit straight though. Have you seen? It's in there. It's kind of an angle, but that's how it goes. That's how it's supposed to go. So I suppose that's the way it is. That's the way it is. It's not looking exactly. I don't think it's been cut properly. I'd say that's probably the case. it hasn't been cut properly. Let me just see if I can just position these better. Yeah, they're supposed to sit on the shelf, but they don't sit on the shelf because the gap's too big. But that's okay. It still looks okay. So that's that done. So the next thing we need to do is we need to put these two sides on. We could probably lay it down for this part, maybe. No, I won't lay it down because those two doweling pieces still need to stick standing up. So what we'll do is let's get a little bit of wood glue and we'll apply it there. And then we'll put this one in here. Could actually do with wood glue underneath as well. I'll do that for this one. So we'll have wood glue in there, in there. Grab some more wood glue. And I'll put some at the bottom here, just to glue the shelf below with these at the top. Let's just slot them in there and pull the shelf up. These little dowlings are just wobbling around all over the place. So that's where we are. I just need to clean up the excess glue. In the joins. I mean, they will dry transparent anyway, the glue. It's just my personal preference. I don't like seeing the glue. These little doweling things do not want to, well, this one doesn't want to stay where it is. Let's get all the excess glue. There, you see. So it's starting to take some shape. Just need to get some of that excess glue out. In the joins. There. That there does not want to sit straight at all. It's wobbling all over the place. Right, the next piece that we need to add is here. And what we can do is, to secure these two sides here, we can put some glue on the top as well. So let's get some wood glue. You'll know from the way you're building it where you need glue and where you don't need glue. I don't need to follow instructions on where I need to put glue, so I'm going to put some glue there and some glue there, and then I'm going to put some glue here and here, and then this piece slots in here. It's very difficult to slot that in. There, that's in place. Okay, that's in place there. I actually didn't need the glue on the top there, but I'll just remove that glue. It'll dry transparent anyway if I don't get it all. So let's just remove some excess glue from there. As you can see, it's starting to take shape, the bathroom cabinet. But this keeps falling over. and I don't know why. What I'm going to do is I'm going to re-glue it because it doesn't want to stick. So I'm going to re-glue it. It really doesn't want to stick in place, so we'll have to force the issue. See if I can push it down with these, if that's the problem. Just remove all the excess glue. See, I'm going to leave that glue because I can't, I need it to sit there like that. I'm not going to tip it back because it's not dry and it'll just keep moving. So the last thing that we need to do is just checking everything. We've got that shelf, that shelf, that shelf. We've got them two. Put them two side ones on, put the top one on. Ah, yes, yes. So we've got to put this cupboard door in place, but it's not actually going to open. It's not going to open. It's just decorative. So I'll put some glue here and here. I may even put some on the side, maybe not, because I don't know where it's going to place. And then that sits in there. There. Might squeeze some glue in that gap there. Just hold them two pieces together. There. Just remove any excess glue. This is quite a piece, and that doweling is still moving. There's the cupboard in place. We just got to put the top of that cupboard in place. So we need to add some glue to that section. Just cover it. And then put some inside here where it joins. It's going to remove some of the excess glue. There we go. There. So we'll just flip that over. Put this last piece in place up here. There it is. We'll just remove the excess glue again. There we go. That is our bathroom cabinet done. Just going to remove some excess glue off there. It will dry clear anyway, so I'm not overly worried. So there it is. I'm going to tip it back just once. There you go. That's the bathroom cabinet done. I would say in box 11, I think we'll be doing the ceiling to the first floor. But as you can see, that's what we've just completed. That completes issue 36 of the magazine. And it also completes box 10 of the build. So I'd like to thank you for your company. I'll see you in the next video. Stay creative.